Hey there. Have you ever told a story about something that happened to you and it just felt a little boring? Like just a list of facts instead of a real exciting memory? Well, today, we're going to fix that. We're going to learn how to use one simple English tense, the past continuous, to make your stories sound amazing. So here's our plan. First, we'll listen to a travel story to see how this works in a real conversation. Then we'll break it down, what the past continuous actually is and how you can form it. Super easy, I promise. After that, we get to the really important part, comparing it with the past simple. And to finish up, I'll give you some simple patterns so you can start telling better stories right away. Okay, let's dive right in. We're about to listen to two people talking about a trip that, well, it got a little stressful. While you're listening, see if you can spot the difference between the background actions and the things that happened suddenly. I had a strange moment during my trip last week. I was walking to the museum when I suddenly realized I didn't have my passport. Oh no! Were you traveling to another destination that day? Yes. I was taking a late flight, so I needed it.
That sounds stressful. What were you doing before that? I was buying a map at a small market near the shopping mall.
I left my passport on the counter. That's easy to forget when you were looking at your itinerary and planning where to go next. Exactly. Luckily, the shop assistant found it. I was feeling awful, but everything ended well. So, what did you notice? Think about it. Some actions were long, right? Like walking to the museum or buying a map. They were just happening. But other actions were super quick and sudden, like when the person realized they didn't have their passport. That one moment changed everything. And understanding that difference, well, that's the whole secret. And that brings us to the star of our show today, the past continuous. You can think of it as the paintbrush you use to paint the background of your stories. It adds all the color and atmosphere. So what is it exactly? Well, at its heart, the past continuous is all about an action that was in progress. It was happening at a certain moment in the past. The action wasn't finished. It's like we hit the pause button on a movie and we're just looking at what was going on in that one frame. So what's its job in a story? It basically has three main superpowers. First, it sets the scene. It gives us the background info. Remember when the speaker said they were buying a map? That's setting the scene. Second, it describes a longer action that gets interrupted by something short and sudden. And third, you can use it to show two things happening at the same time, like you were looking at your itinerary and planning where to go. Now for the best part. Making sentences with the past continuous is incredibly easy. Seriously, once you see the pattern, you'll never forget it. Just look at this table. For a regular positive sentence, all you need is was or were plus your main verb with ing at the end. I was walking. Done. To make it negative, just add not, so you get wasn't or weren't. And if you want to ask a question, just flip the subject and the verb. Were you traveling? See? It's that simple. Okay, this next part is probably the most important thing we're going to talk about. Understanding how the past continuous and the past simple work together is what will totally transform your stories. So here's the big idea. Think of the past continuous as the long background action. It's the scene. It's what was happening. And then you have the past simple. That's for the short main event. It's the thing that happened, and it usually interrupts that long background action. Let's look at our main sentence one more time. The background scene, I was walking to the museum. You can imagine that, right? It was just happening. But then, bam, the interruption, when I suddenly realized. That's the short action in the past simple. It's the moment that changes the story. So here's a little recipe you can use every time. It's so easy. Step 1, start with the long action using the past continuous. Step 2, add the little connecting word when. And step 3, finish with the short action using the past simple. That simple structure is the key to making your story sound so much more natural and exciting. All right, we've gone through all the rules. Now it's time for the fun part, putting it all into practice. Let's look at how you can use this to build your own great stories. You can start using these patterns right now. If you want to describe a problem, you could say, I was checking my luggage when I found out my bag was broken. Or if someone asks, hey, what were you doing? You can answer, oh, I was just buying a ticket when you called. See how that long action gives context to the main event? It's perfect. If you remember just one thing today, I want it to be this number, 2. For amazing storytelling about the past, you need 2 tenses working as a team. the past continuous for the background, and the past simple for the main events. That's the whole secret. So, let's finish with a question for you, and I really want you to think about it. What were you doing when you heard your favorite song for the very first time? Were you driving in your car? Were you studying for an exam? Try to answer it out loud using that structure we just learned. Because honestly, the absolute best way to learn this is to connect it to your own stories.